go ahead and do a scrapbook video on scrapbook layout, and this is part of the weekly lid challenge on the Cricut message board. And this is a sketch from the week last week, which today is the March 3rd, so this is the week before that. I can't think of the dates right now. And this is the second sketch to that challenge that I had the pictures cut out and everything. I just never got to it. And today I'm off and my husband's at work, and so it's just my day to play. And so I thought, I gotta get these done. I'm behind, but that's okay. It's gonna be good. So this sketch was from Page Maps, and if you go into that link, it'll show you both sketches and everyone's work on it. So that's what we're gonna do today. And I have this piece of Stampin' Up! Cardstock. It's 12 by 12. And I believe, I'm not sure what color it is. I'll post the color in the post when I do this. These are my pictures that I have chosen. And like I said, I already have them pre-cut. I had them ready to go. I just never got to the actual layout of this, putting the layout together. And these are pictures of deer from our Bryce Canyon trip. And that's kind of what I'm working on now. I'm trying to make sure that that gets finished, because I've had the pictures printed for just about a year now, because we went in March last year and I just need to get it done. So the dimensions are a little bit different than what this sketch says, because I needed to change them just a little bit to fit these two pictures here, to fit what I needed. I am going to mat these pictures, even though it kind of doesn't really show it in the thing, but I like the matted pictures, and I'm going to actually ink up the edges of the mat since it is the white paper. And so I'm just going to do that. Just real quick, and I'm just using a Stampin' Spot from Stampin' Up! And it's chocolate chip, and I'm just kind of doing it rough. It's an outdoorsy picture, so it doesn't need to be all pretty. And I do have a few of the little sponge daubers, but with these little ink pads, it's just as easy just to use the actual ink pad itself to do this. And I really love the inked look. I think it just gives a finished edge sometimes to what it is and makes it pop just a little bit more, especially on photo mats. I think it looks really, really well. And sometimes with the ink dauber, I think that you can control it a little bit better, because I think sometimes the ink pad, just depending on how you're doing it, you know, it can kind of go a little funky, but to me it's just as easy to use these little ink pads. So now we're done with that. I'm going to go ahead and adhere the pictures to the mat, and these pictures are off just by like 1/4 of an inch, these two. So I gotta figure out, I think that one goes with that one. So I'm gonna adhere these, and I'm just gonna use my ATG gun. And I'm left-handed, so you'll see that. And people have asked the difference of using the ATG gun left-handed, and I never had a problem with it. It never bugged me. Some people say there's a learning curve with it. I think I'm just used to using everything that's made for right-handed people left-handed. So, and I use a lot of adhesive. I know a lot of people say, well, you don't have to use that much for scrapbook pages, and yeah, I want to make sure that it stays good. So I'm just going to line this up, and I hope that's kind of straight. So the measurements of these mats are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and the pictures are just 1/4 inch less than that. This one's just a standard 4 by 6 photo, so the mat's 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Let's see here. That's the side for the inked edges. And then this photo is 2 by 3, so the mat's 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. No, it's 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do those two sides. That should be good. The photo's small enough that it should work pretty well. And I hope, since this is my first actual video of making something, I hope that I stay within the frame. I kind of measured it out on my mat so that I could try and make sure that I was staying within the frame. And that kind of got a little bit torn, but that's okay. Just proves that the ATG tape sticks really, really well. Okay, so now that I have the photos matted, I hope that I stay within the limit. If not, this might be 2 videos, but that's okay. We're just knocking stuff over. Now this piece of pattern paper is from my Mind's Eye stack that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I think that they still currently have it. I just really thought it looked good with the pictures. It's kind of outdoorsy looking. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that down. And this is something, if you wanted to ink the edges on this, you could as well. This one off onto my paper there. And I'm just going to try and line this up. This is measured 6 inches by 12 inches. And so with this grid mat, so I'm going to move it above my line here. You can kind of measure. So it's 6 inches, so you're going to have 3 inches on each side. So 1, 2, 3. So I'd place it down right there, and it should be just about even on each side. It's a little bit harder to line it up when you're not right in front of it, so if it's not completely straight, that's okay. I'm not too... Actually, that worked out pretty well. And in the sketch, it has this little strip right here, but I didn't have anything really that I wanted to put there. I didn't have a ribbon that I really cared to put it there, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere my photos down, and this is how I wanted them. And then this one, according to the sketch, just kind of tucks under just a little bit. And this one and the sketch is to go here, but because the sketch had journaling up there, I'm not going to adhere it. I don't really need to have journaling for this page. It's pretty simple, just, you know, wildlife page, and I don't think it necessarily needs a whole lot of journaling to it. I'm just going to put what I want down. Maybe just journal a little bit on the bottom. So we're going to adhere this mat. What I said about right here. Let's make sure that yep, that looks good. I'll just sort of adhere that. Hopefully it goes on straight. And I notice that a lot, that sometimes I think it's on straight and it's not, and it's all good. I don't get too fussy over it. So we're going to adhere this just right there. Looks pretty straight. And then okay. And then put this one up in this corner. Pretty straight. And this is going to actually be it's a very simple sketch, and I'm not too big on the whole making it completely fancy and all this embellishments, especially with my photography ones. I don't think it really needs it. So this is pretty much what I'm going to put on here. The rest of the stuff I'm going to cut from the Cricut. So we'll go ahead and do that next. I do have what I want already on my Gypsy. And sorry, I bumped the camera there. Let's see if I can get this so you can kind of see what I have on there. I'm going to zoom in. I don't know how close this is. So up here I have some flourishes, and then I have the word deer that I'm going to cut out. The deer was using Pooh font, and then these flourishes were from Storybook. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out and then come back and adhere it.